Hey, Shalom. Back again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect. So this is going to be a quick one, just touching on the things going on behind the scenes while this election psyop is taking place. And right now on the news, you're not seeing these things come up. Right now, all they're blasting is the news about the election and ballots coming up missing. They even said that certain polling places, the systems went down, so they can't count the votes. So this whole thing is about to be a mess. But while this is at the forefront of people's minds, this is the real situation that's going on here. World War III continues to escalate. And what you have going on right now is you have these nations testing missiles ahead of this election. So this right here is an omen of what is to come. This shows you that these nations, depending on the outcome of this election and what's going to happen to America with the chaos and the confusion, these nations are prepared to take advantage of that. And they getting their armies ready. They testing missiles. They're getting ready for war. You see? So this is why we always say it's important to stay locked in to prophecy. Yeah, the election is one thing, but don't neglect what's going on with these other nations, man, especially looking at the BRICS, because it's a whole lot going on. They definitely gearing up to come against the war. So we're going to go ahead and check this out. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying.
Подчеркну, мы не собираемся втягиваться в новую гонку вооружений, однако будем поддерживать ядерные силы на уровне необходимой достаточности. Учитывая рост геополитической напряженности, появление новых внешних угроз и рисков, важно иметь современные и постоянно готовые к боевому применению стратегические силы.
On the night of the election, the U.S. Space Force was set to launch an unarmed Minuteman III intercontinental missile on election night, testing America's nuclear deterrent strategy during heightened tensions with the Mideast and Russia. The test launch, which was scheduled years in advance, has been designed to, in quotations, demonstrate the readiness of U.S. nuclear forces and provide confidence in the lethality and effectiveness of the nation's nuclear deterrent. That's according to the Air Force Global Strike Command. The command said that the timing of the test, though, on election day was merely coincidental, as such launches are typically scheduled for early November, with last year's maneuver taking place November 1st. And the test was scheduled to begin just after 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's launching from the Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, officials said. It's named the LGM-30G Minuteman Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, or ICBM, and it serves as America's land-based nuclear weapon unit, and apparently about 400 such missiles are ready for use in the U.S. according to the Air Force. But this, though, as per standard protocol, the Hague Code of Conduct, the international body overseeing the use of ballistic missiles, and Russia have been notified in advance. And like it says here, the test will have come just a week after Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered a massive nuclear training exercise simulating the use of Moscow's own ballistic missiles. But they scheduled this years in advance, and it just so happens to be on the night of the election? On the night?
They know what's going on. If something big is about to pop off that ain't nobody ready for. And why do you think all these nations are testing their nuclear arsenal? These missiles wasn't made for no reason. They wasn't made to just sit in the silos and just collect dust. No, the Lord put the spirit on these nations to create these missiles because there's going to come a time where they are going to be used. And this is how you also know that the MOTB, this new beast system that they setting up, this thing about to happen any day now. Because if they taking these type of measures, preparing for war, and America's doing the same thing, then they know that something is going to come that's going to be irreversible, that there's about to be a major change happening in the geopolitical sphere on this earth. So they preparing for the inevitable. But like I said, these missiles will be launched. They will be used. And guess what? Majority of them are coming to America. They're going to come to Babylon the Great and burn this place up. Breaking news, Iran likely to launch 400 ballistic missiles at Israel on election night. So before all the chaos ensues, before the madness takes over this place, because I truly believe that Kamala is going to get into the White House, that they're going to install her. You know, that's really what it's looking like. And the elites, they set it up this way because they know how aggressive that Trump supporters are. They know the mentality. They created this mentality in these people. So if they put Kamala in there, and Trump, you know, he was the favorite to win, and Kamala, she comes into the race because remember, originally it was Joe Biden running against Trump. Then Joe Biden, you know, they took him out the way, all right? Which that whole senile thing, that, you know, that was an act, you know what I'm saying? So they could put Kamala up there now and have an upset, you see? Because when Kamala gets up in there, it ain't going to be nothing nice. You think them Trump supporters are just going to concede and they just going to go about their business and be like, you know what? She won fair and square. We're just going to let her have it. No. It ain't going to be like that, man. All right? And even if it did go like that, guess what? Esau, he going to send his agent provocateurs out there to make something out of nothing. Never let a good crisis go to waste. But in the midst of all this, the fallout that's going to happen from the election, the confusion that's going to overtake the people, these nations are getting ready to capitalize on Babylon's folly. All right, so Iran, you know, they're likely to launch 400 ballistic missiles at Israel tonight. A prominent Iranian military analyst is warning that there is a high likelihood Iran will attack Israel on Tuesday as the U.S. presidential election results are tallied in order to generate maximum publicity.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We have breaking news that we want to get across to you today. Again, we are live here at End Time Headlines. This is news and headlines from a prophetic perspective. I know it is election day. I know many of you guys are going to the polls and you're casting your ballots, but we've got some breaking news I want to get to you, and we've got a lot to talk about. But I want to spend a lot of your time. Give me about 20 minutes. I want to talk about a new report that is indicating that Iran is likely to launch 400 ballistic missiles at Israel tonight on election night. Again, this is breaking news coming over the wire, and we're going to get into this and a couple other reports that are indicating that things could get a little bit bumpy if they're not already crazy. So buckle up. We got a lot to cover today.
The following program is brought to you by friends and partners of End Time Headlines.
All right, what's going on, guys? Again, this is End Time Headlines, news and headlines from a prophetic perspective. I appreciate you guys stopping in and catching this breaking news alert. Again, we'll be broadcasting today at 2 p.m. Eastern, but we will not be broadcasting tonight. But this was not scheduled, but this is something I definitely wanted to talk about. And I want to go right into this. Again, this is a new report. World Israel News reporting that Iran is likely to launch 400 ballistic missiles at Israel on election night. Let's get into this article. A prominent Iranian military analyst, again, is warning that there is a, quote, high likelihood that Iran will strike Israel tonight. This is Tuesday, November 5th, as the U.S. presidential election results are tallied in order to, quote, generate maximum publicity. Very interesting. Again, this is according to a senior individual with the Washington Institute who wrote on his X account that he believes that Iran may, quote, launch a massive attack on the Jewish state in the immediate future. Quote, the newest round in the Iranian regime Israel long-range fires. War is near, perhaps on Tuesday evening as polls close in the U.S. to overshadow the winter announcement. This time, the regime will likely use up to, and now he states 400 missiles, if not more. Now, this is a very interesting prediction here, aiming at disabling major Israeli air defenses. Now, keep in mind, guys, this comes on the heels of the report in which the last time that Israel struck Iran, they disabled and dismantled their defense systems, leaving them bare and not able to defend themselves. And thus, there was another report indicating that Iran, when they would strike, now this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out as well. According to intelligence and other reports, Iran, if and when they carry out the next strike, and all indications indicate that they are going to strike. It was a matter of conflict, whether it was going to happen before the election, which obviously that didn't happen, whether it was going to happen during the election, and we're yet to see, we're holding our breath to see if that takes place, or if they will wait until they see the results of the election and then carry out this.
Which I believe more than likely they're going to wait until they get the results from the election, then launch that attack. All right? But if Kamala stays in there, they definitely going to make that move. Iran definitely going to launch the missiles, because the Iranians understand that if the Democrats stay in the White House, they're going to continue this war. All right? Now, Trump, we have yet to see, but Trump possibly, could try and veer away from this war. All right? And they could take him out for that. We don't know, but World War III is inevitable. That's the point. This thing is going to happen, and these nations are making moves. You see, so whether they attack tonight or sometime after, they are going to go against Israel, and this World War III is going to escalate to another level. All right, why you think these nations are testing these missiles, man? Because they're getting ready to use them. Okay? North Korea, multiple ballistic missiles toward the sea ahead of U.S. elections. So they letting these missiles fly, man. Because they understand what time it is. They already know. And they know that this election coming up for America is going to be a critical turning point in the geopolitical sphere. All right? So however it goes, whether Trump or Kamala gets in there, they're getting ready for the worst case scenario. All right? Because these nations understand that they are already at war with the West. You see? But depending on who gets in the White House, this thing going to turn up. All right? But you see here, Iran, North Korea. All right? America also to test hypersonic nuclear missile tonight, just hours after election polls close, amid growing World War III fear. You can't make this up. All right? These missiles are getting ready to fly. Yahushua is on his way back, and time is short, as we always continue to tell you. We definitely in that time. The U.S. military is set to conduct a test launch of a hypersonic nuclear missile hours after polls close on Election Day. Some Americans have expressed concerns about the nuclear weapon test on the same day as the country is casting their votes for the next president. This shows you how simple that these Americans are. You're worried about voting, which really means nothing at the end of the day. Meanwhile, these nations around the world, they're gearing up their armies, right? They're strengthening themselves to come against the horde, to come against Babylon the Great. And you worried about some Trump or Kamala, all right? Either way it goes, this war is going to go down. That's what you really should be worried about, all right? They're about to institute a draft, okay? Many men are going to die in these wars, as it's prophesied, you see? So, we're in some very crucial times right now, you see? They said the purpose of the test was to show the readiness of nuclear U.S. forces and provide confidence in the nation's nuclear deterrence amid fears of the growing threat of the outbreak of World War III. And we're already in World War III, you see? Oh, let me get some more of this. The exercise will see the ICBM travel 4,200 miles from the base of Kwajalein Atoll, a small island in the North Pacific, which will take about 22 minutes. So you see the the speed in which these missiles can travel, this ICBM can travel 4,200 miles in 22 minutes. And look, man, when the end comes, it's going to be thousands, okay, hundreds of thousands of these missiles flying across the earth, man. All right, it's going to be a scary sight. The weapon can reach speeds over 15,000 miles per hour, allowing it to hit any target worldwide in just 30 minutes after launch. So imagine that. Russia shoot off, one of their nukes, and hey, at that point, it's your mortality is going to be realized, man, because you only going to have 30 minutes. You only going to have 30 minutes to get your shit together, if you will. All right? This is how fast the destruction can come, man. In 30 minutes, 22 minutes. All right? It says Moscow sits about 5,900 miles from California, while Beijing is about 6,000 miles away. The two nations deemed a threat to the U.S. All right? So, hey, man, it's turning up, you see? And these are the strange rains that are going to come down. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16. And Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and 15. It says, "But it is not possible to escape thine hand, for the ungodly that deny to know thee were scourged by the strength of thine arm." All right, so these missiles, these are plagues that's going to come from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man, as we'll read, with strange rains, hails, and showers were they persecuted, that they could not avoid, and through fire were they consumed. All right, so these ICBM nuclear missiles, man, these are going to be those strange rains that are going to rain down upon America, Babylon the Great. And it's going to burn these people with thermonuclear fire. All right. Verse 17, "For which is most to be wondered at, the fire had more force in the water, that quencheth all things, for the world fighteth for the righteous." Verse 18, "For sometime the flame was mitigated, that it might not burn up the beasts that were sent against the ungodly," right? Spirits of vengeance, right? "But themselves might see and perceive that they were persecuted with the judgment of the Most High." All right? Hey, man, this is beautiful, okay? These strange rains, these missiles, these ICBM nuclear missiles, man, these things about to touch down. All right, showing you how close we are to the end. Romans 13 and 11. "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light." So this is for the true believers, the sincere. All right? Our salvation is nearer than when we believe, man. Seeing these things, it shouldn't bother you. All right? These things should only bother you if you're wicked. All right? Because this is the end of your world. But, for those of us that have faith in something beyond this place in the kingdom of heaven, we're actually happy to see these things, man. Like, seeing these prophecies come to pass, give our spirit rest. Like these things, bring joy to our spirit, man, because we see that the words of the Heavenly Father are faithful and true. So we see if destruction is coming to this land, then that also means that our salvation is near as well. All right. That's why it's time for us to rejoice, right? To not be afraid, to not fear, not doubt, but to continue on in the things that we have learned, because we see everything that the Lord said would come to pass is happening in these times, man. Like we're really at the door of destruction. Okay, that's why it says the night is far spent, the day is at hand. All right. The sun is about to be shining, man, proverbially speaking. All right, so it's time to put off the works of darkness, man. It's time to return to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and put on the armor of light. All right. Put on the full armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that we may be able to withstand against the wiles of the devil. Because one thing about it, it's a lot of deception going on out here. There's a lot of deceit. People are being swayed here and there. But we got to keep our minds on the prize. We got to keep our mind, glued to what's going on around the world prophetically, because this is a marker to show us that the sand in the hourglass is running out, if you will. We can close out here, Daniel chapter 2. Let's go to 44, right? Because this is the time where the Lord, he about to destroy all these kings, as it was outlined in the vision of Daniel. It's Daniel chapter 2, and verse, I'm going to start at 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Now, this is going into the latter end of the Roman Empire, which we're in today, this modern day beast system, with America being the head, being the whore. Okay? This system is partly strong because it's strong militarily, but it's also partly broken, right? Because the people are divided amongst political lines, they're divided amongst religion, all right? They're divided amongst race and skin color and all these different things, man. These people are just bugged out, all right? To the point now where nobody can agree. The government is in disarray, okay? The people here are more degenerate than ever before. So this is not a unified kingdom, man. This kingdom is broken. It's divided. All right, look at what's about to happen from this election, man. People are divided amongst political lines, and it's going to be chaos behind this. Verse 43, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. All right, so Esau, he's going to try to, be, diplomatic with these nations. He's going to try to, cleave to these nations, man. But hey, as it says, iron, okay, which iron is representative of the Roman Empire, is not mixed with clay. All right. The seed of men. You see what I'm saying? So Esau, he's not, being received by these nations, man, because these nations have an evil eye towards the beast. All right. They ready to take this whore down. You see, this is why the BRICS were formed, man. Really, part of it is economic, but it's really a military alliance to come against the West. You see? So iron is not mixed with clay, man. They're not going to cleave one to another. All right, there was a time where these nations, they were subservient to the beast because they had to be. But now, these nations have been raised up by the Lord. All right, as it says in Joel, the 3rd chapter, wake up the mighty men, let the weak say, I am strong. Okay, now, they have one thing on their mind, and that's to destroy America. Okay, that's to take down this beast system, right? Once again, the BRICS, they're coming against this Western-led hegemony, man. They want to be the next ones to rule over the earth with their system that they're building. But their imagination is vain because it's not going to come to fruition, man. All right, as we'll read on, verse 44, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Right? So in the days of these kings, in the days of these leaders that are upon this earth, Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Trump, Emmanuel Macron, all these kings, all these leaders, right? They're all going to be destroyed by the Lord, man. Right? As it says, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall set up a kingdom, all right, which shall never be destroyed. That's going to be the everlasting kingdom of heaven. All right, so the end of all things is at hand. And it's not going to be left to other people, and it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. So the Lord, he's coming back to take the crowns off these kings, man, and establish his rulership, Yahweh Shai, and it shall stand forever. Verse 45, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. So Daniel gave King Nebuchadnezzar an accurate and 100% spot-on interpretation of the dream. Okay? So as you see here, man, that stone that was cut out of the mountain, okay, which represents Yahweh Shai, right? It's going to come and it's going to break in pieces the iron. It's going to destroy Rome. It's going to destroy the brass, Greece. It's going to destroy the clay, the silver, and the goal. All these nations are going to be broken down, man, by the Lord when he comes back. And this time is shortly upon us, all right? But you see it being manifest here with all these signs, man. These are the signs of the times that we got to look forward to know how close we are to the end. So it's time to lock in. It's time to, put off the folly. It's time to really seek the Lord, man, while he may be found, because things about to get critical out here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. In closing, call hello, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakah Kadash. Until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect, Kum Yasha Allah, and the Bible Ball.